Okay, now we're back at the testing site. In front of your test, you see your first question, and you just want to remember that you are in your cool, calm place. Even if you need to take you one more deep breath, breathing in 5 seconds, breathing out through your mouth 5 seconds. Close your eyes and say you a little prayer if you need to. Amen. And then we're coming back to the test. We have all the knowledge in our head. We have the grammar rules PDF in our head. And we're just going to dive right into the first question. It says, which news article hints at the cause-effect organizational structure? You have multiple choice. The first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the cause-effect structure? And you would have to know that the cause of one thing affects the other, or because of this, this happened. Because this happened, this happened. So, which news article hints at the cause-effect organizational structure? Now, we're definitely going to try to find something that is incorrect for sure, so we can eliminate. Now, we have 5 different answers up here, so there's a 20% chance of us getting it right now, because there are 5 different choices. If I go to the bottom and say a sea turtle's journey doesn't have a cause or an effect, so I take that one off. That gives me a 25% chance now. Remove another one, it'll give me a 33% chance. Remove another one, I'm down to just 2 answers for a 50% chance. But I'm just going to go right in and say, which news article hints at the cause and effect organizational structure? Because this happened, this had to happen. And this is just a news article. So this could be the headline or the title of that news article. Obesity closing the global economy, or obesity costing the global economy trillions. Now, obesity, because of obesity, it is causing a global economy. It's costing the global economy trillions. Obesity, because of obesity, the effect is costing global economy trillions. B says, an afternoon to remember. There is no cause or an effect. Bono's solution to the AIDS pandemic. Okay, because of the AIDS pandemic, Bono felt that he needed a solution. Is that a cause and effect? The brief but important life of a bee. Is that cause and effect? Or does that sound like an informative essay or an informative article? Sounds more like an informative article. So I would say that the cause and effect, the correct answer would be A. Because of obesity, it is costing the global economy trillions. And of course, A is the correct answer. You and 85% of other users answered that correctly. If you had A, obesity costing the global economy trillions, is a hint at the cause effect organizational structure of that particular article. Now, I got there by I just went in and found something that I could eliminate as far as these 5 answers. I got it down to only 2 answers. Obesity costing the global economy trillions, or Bono's solution to the AIDS pandemic. I didn't go with Bono's solution to the AIDS pandemic because that could either be the cause of something or the effect of that, something. Bono's solution to the AIDS pandemic was because of his wife being diagnosed with the AIDS virus, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a cause, effect, structure, organization. Like obesity. I can see how obesity costs trillions, because there are so many people that are overweight. The global economy is basically having to pay trillions to whip them back into shape, so to say. But for the very first question, you want to kind of go through this as fast as you possibly can. Go ahead and read the question, read your 5 choices, read the question again, come down, eliminate what you can, boom, 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 boom. Then go back and make sure you have the right question, the right answer, boom, submit your answer, move to the next slide. And if you know that, let's say you're taking a timed test, like the test is being timed. Let's say your teacher says, hey, you have 30 minutes to do this test. And you see that a couple of questions take you more than 2 minutes. You have a 15 question test. Each question should take you 2 minutes and you're done in 30 minutes, basically, right? You see that one question is taking you more than 2 minutes and you can't eliminate a couple and still figure it out. Go ahead and skip to the next question. Go and do a few that you can do that won't take up your 2 minutes. Go and find some that'll actually only take about 20 to 30 seconds. That way you're getting some extra time for those questions that you don't exactly know the answers to off the top of your head. But it's like, even with this question right here, question number 2 on the test. I had trouble with question number 2, me. Mr. Marquise tutors me. I had problems with number 2. Which of the following pronouns is an objective case pronoun? Now, case being lowercase, uppercase. Objective case means, let's say, it won't be, objective case means that it's a pronoun. And yes, you can be referring to yourself, but it doesn't have to necessarily be a capital letter. It won't be a capital letter if it's in the middle of a sentence. Now, you know that the letter I would be capitalized no matter what. So I was able to eliminate at least I was able to eliminate that. And then I started having some trouble. And it's like, now that I'm looking at it, now I can see that, yes, me would probably be the right answer. Me is the right answer because me would not be capitalized in the middle of the sentence, and if I'm talking about myself. Now, we and they wouldn't be capitalized at all, but the first time I actually took this test, I said the answer was C. But now that I'm looking at it and I know exactly what, I went back and I found I went and I found the PDF for the basic grammar rules. And now that I've looked at that today, I know that the answer is me. When I actually took the test, yes, I'm embarrassed to say that I actually missed question number 2. I missed it. I put C, they. The correct answer is B, me. And yes, I would have to say that I was just trying to find the objective pronoun, not the objective case. Now, when I first read this, I didn't realize that it was saying uppercase, lowercase pronouns. I have no idea where my head was when I was taking this test, but I definitely got that answer wrong and it corrected me. It showed me. It said, hey, your answer was they. But the correct answer is me. And it actually told me that 46% of the users got that answer correct, meaning less than half the people. Half being 1 out of 2, right? 1 out of 2 people got this answer wrong, and Mr. Marquise was one of them. I am not ashamed to say that, but yes, me is an objective case pronoun. I appreciate them for teaching me that. Like I said earlier, I'm a master student. I'm always learning. Yes, I'm a teacher, but I'm a master student first. I'm always looking to learn. We will learn for the rest of our lives. So yes, take advantage. Become a master student in the Little Keepers Lit Club. No worries though. We just move right on to the next. You get a problem wrong, you don't worry about it. You just go right on to the next. Number 3 says, what goes in the left-hand column when using the Cornell note-taking system? Now, I've never used the Cornell note-taking system, and if I did, I didn't realize that I was using the Cornell note-taking system. I just know how I take notes and how I've always taken notes. Now, it says, what goes in the left-hand column? And usually what I am writing in the left-hand column is something from the selection. Now, I looked at my possible answers, and all of them say that. In the left column, it says, okay, you're going to write the solution from the selection. The solution. Okay, you're going to write B. You're going to write the details from the selection. C, you're going to write the questions from the selection. D, the answers to the questions in the other column. The answers to the questions in the other column. Now, we didn't even say that anything was in the other column, right? That we don't know that there is a right-hand column. And we definitely don't know that there is something like these questions. We don't know that there are questions in the other column until it actually says, hey, in the note-taking system, you're taking notes. You're taking notes. You're already taking notes. So these are your notes right here. That's where the solution is going. That's where the details are going, right? That's where your answers are going. Now, so it's going to come down to the questions from the selection or the problems from the selection, right? Because the problems can pretty much be questions, right? Okay, when it says something like problems and solutions, that's usually dealing with math. Problems and solutions are dealing with math, more than likely. Details and answers to questions, that's usually when you have a passage or a selection, an essay that you are reading. You're taking your notes, and then on the side of those notes, you may want to write something. Now, by me not ever using the Cornell note-taking system, I had to ask myself, what would you write on the left side if you were using any kind of system? And yes, C, the questions from the selection, is the right answer, but I had to eliminate some other answers first. And I ended up getting down to only 2 answers, and the questions from the selection is the correct answer. Now, you may not know anything about the Cornell note-taking system. I didn't know anything about the Cornell note-taking system. I didn't know there was a note-taking system. Only thing I know about Cornell is that it's an Ivy League school. Like, only the smartest of the smartest kids get to go there, unless your family went there. Say your dad went to Cornell, you are Cornell legacy. He is Cornell alumni. So by you being his legacy, you are automatically into Cornell. And that's how it goes for most Ivy League schools. Unless you're like a top tier student, you're a master student throughout school, they are looking for people like you to go to these Ivy League schools. These Ivy League schools are the ones who become your politicians, your inventors, and your innovators throughout the world. Definitely in America, at least. That's pretty much all I know about Cornell. But you want to kind of, try to see if you can relate to anything going on in the question, in the answers. Calm yourself down. You get through a few questions and then the questions get either harder. If you are someone who is looking to go to one of these prestigious colleges, then yes, you would have to be top tier. Nonetheless, the answer is C, the questions from the selection. And yes. Now, most of this test has been dealing with reading comprehension and kind of understanding grammar and grammatical errors. But this presentation will also be including some math problems. This particular math problem says, write the number 789.1 as an addition problem. 789.1 as an addition problem. You would basically go down and look at your answers. You have A, 700 plus 80 equals 9 equals 1/100th. 1/100. B says 7,000 plus 800 plus 90 plus 1. C says 700 plus 80 plus 91/100. 700, or D says 700 plus 80 plus 9 plus 1/10. E says 700 plus 80 plus 9. Okay, now we just go back up to the question. It says 789.1. So we're going to write that as an addition problem. We already said that the number itself is 700. So anything that doesn't say 700 first is not the correct answer, right? So we'll eliminate B. 80. The rest of the answers say 700 plus 80. 9. 80 and 9 is 80 plus 9. Anything that doesn't say 700 plus 80 plus 9 has to go. Answer A says equals 9 equals 1/100, or 0.01. 1/100 is 0.01. 1 out of 100. 1 out of 100 cents would only have 1 cent, right? So we would write 1 cent as 0.01. You see 1 cent, $7.01 is 7.01. 0.1 represents 1 cent. 0.1 would be like 10 cents. 10 out of 100, which would be like saying 1/10. So which answer says 1/10? The first thing you'll notice when you get to this slide is that A doesn't say 700 plus 80 equals 9 equals 1 over 100. It says plus 9 plus 1 over 100. So that one would have come down to being right as well until it got to the 1 over 100. So I would have eliminated at least B, C, and E. So A and D have the best chance of being right. It just comes down to it being 1/10. Is that 1/10 of a point, or is that 1/100th of a point? And it is 1/10 because it is in the 10th place, right? Placement. The 10th place is 0.1. The very first place is the 10th place after the decimal. So D is correct. 700 plus 80 plus 9 plus 1/10 is 789.1.